What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hash It Out podcast. I'm your boy Keenai with my boy Tony Tone here,
What it do?
and we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it.
So I want to give somebody a shout out, and this person's particular name happens to be Silent the Booty Taker for commenting on the video we made about being the podcast co-host. Okay, now I have multiple questions. Okay, first of all, we appreciate your interaction. Thank you. Second of all, are you silently taking booties, or like does the booty be silent when you're taking it?
Right.
Okay.
Or is it one of those things where is it specific booty that you're silently taking, or are you taking the booties of the ones that are taking booties? Like what's going on with that one? Like I'm curious on that. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered here, sir or ma'am, because obviously we do not discriminate around here. We're all inclusive here. Everybody gets the smoke.
All inclusive. Okay. But here's a better question. We missed one question.
What's up?
Because I also noticed it was brought to my attention
What's up?
that this individual followed us.
Yes.
So if they're also following us, does that mean they trying to follow us to silently take our booties? Like, are we next? Like,
I mean, just know if they do try, I ain't going out like no little bitch. Somebody got you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be easy. We fight around here. Like ain't nothing getting took around here, you know what I'm saying?
silently taking your booty, or is
Hey.
your booty being silent while it's being taken? Could
Hey.
you just imagine? Right. Okay. So take this. We talk about serial killers and all this, other stuff, right?
Okay, yeah.
Say
We've
that
had a couple
say that somebody takes this moniker. They're the silent booty taker strikes again. Okay. Right.
Okay. I want to hear where this is going. Okay.
What if, because he or she is silently taking booties, what if the way they get caught is that somebody just lets the ass clapper 3000 go?
Oh,
And it's like a siren. The reason it's silent is because they don't pass gas. They don't fart. Like, think about it. If we're all inclusive, if they got the same motto that we got, we all inclusive, everybody gets to smoke. What if everybody gets to smoke while he out here taking booties?
I mean, everybody. I mean,
Like, think about it.
that's a no pun intended shitty way to freaking get caught. But but I mean, hey, it is what it is. But nah, on the real though, epic freaking name, all that good stuff.
Y'all.
Love it. Love the and appreciate the support, but let me get you onto something.
What you got?
So I was scrolling through the TikTok.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like most of us do nowadays.
Yeah.
We scroll through the TikTok.
Okay.
And TikTok decided that they wanted to mess with my mind and teach me something that I didn't want to know, but I was also very interested in. And I'm gonna mess with y'all's mind now. I woke up and chose violence.
Yikes.
So
Let's not choose violence for today.
oh no, it's too late. It's too late. I know, so all of you gotta know. All right. So your belly button, right?
Jesus Christ.
Your
Where's
belly
this
button,
going?
right? Oh yeah. Do you know what it is connected to? Do you know what it is connected to?
I would assume it would be connected to your freaking intestines or something like that.
You would think that. You would very much think that. But what if I told you, good sir,
Oh.
and fans alike, what if I told you your belly button has a little tube that connects your belly button to your bladder?
To your bladder?
To your bladder, to the organ that holds pee and releases it, right? Yes. And there is a medical condition out there that if that tube gets compromised, you could have pee coming out of your belly button. I want all of you listening right now to go on your phone, your computer, whatever you were listening to this on, and look it up. I have to know this. I want all of you to know this. Go look it up. It's a legit thing. You can pee out your belly button.
Here's my thing, okay? Because first of all, this raises more questions than answers. First of all, you need to get off the internet, sir.
Nah.
You're on my side of TikTok, the hee-haw side of TikTok.
No, that's not
we're over here finding random ass shit. Okay. Second of all, why do you even want to know? Like, it's bad enough that you know it, but why did you have to force that upon us to where we have to know?
Because TikTok decided that I needed to know. So obviously, since I know, I gotta let the world know. That's why.
Yeah.
TikTok chose violence, so I'm passing the violence on.
You know what? I'm gonna choose even more violence with this, okay? Since you want to choose violence, I'm finna choose violence. I'm finna fight violence with violence here, okay? Because could you just imagine, right? You're just walking down the street, lollygagging through the sidewalks and stuff. Next thing you know, dude just pops out from around the corner. It's like, hey, give me your money. And you're like, no, I'm not giving you my money. You're just fucking creepy, bro. And next thing you know, he pees on you through his belly button. Like, I think golden showers are a thing, and it's like you'd rather be pissed off than pissed on. But could you just imagine, like, you're just, somebody's just sitting there squeezing their belly button like it's a damn grape just to piss on you, like
that would be terrible. I'd be pissed. Like no pun intended, but I would be pissed off. I'd probably beat that person's ass on the real because it's like you ain't about to just come out of nowhere and start peeing on me through your belly button of all the orifices that you have. Of all the orifices on your body, your belly button. Nah, we gotta throw hands on that one. We've got to throw hands on that one.
Look, I know copycats are a thing. Everybody wants to be somebody else, and it's like R. Kelly kind of already took that moniker of giving people golden showers.
Yo.
But it's like, could you imagine being the 911 dispatcher that hears that call?
Yo.
Being like, yeah, so I just want to report a crime. Okay, what's the crime? Oh, freaking this homeless man just peed on me through his belly button. Like, yo, chill. Like,
they would. Nobody would believe you at all.
But you know what's even worse? Since we want to talk about being on the TikTok side of things and the internet and all this crap, tell me why. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day. Right?
Okay, where what you got?
And tell me why. So you know how we got all these different professional sports and everything like that, right?
Type shit. Yep.
Okay. In Japan, of all places.
Oh God.
All right. We know Japan's notoriously known for a lot of things, but in Japan, they are known for a specific type of wrestling.
Okay, what's that?
This particular sport requires, in order for you to win and achieve a victory, you have to shove a firecracker in someone's rectum.
Yo, wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. Yes. No, we ain't doing that.
Like, I know, when we sit down on the toilet, when Mother Nature calls and we got to go, it's like, hey, you got to go. We finna blow this up. They took that to a whole new level.
Yeah, it seems like. See, here's my thing with that. Here, two things. One, who in the world thought of that? Two, who in the hell agreed to that? Because first of all, if my manager or whatever you want to call it in the wrestling world came up to me and was like, hey, so you're going to be in a match tonight. Okay, what's the match? It's going to be a firecracker match. Okay, what does that entail? What does that entail? Either you or your opponent has to shove a firecracker up the other person's ass and light it and set it off. Excuse me?
Imagine this. Because you know how we always talk about wrestlers going over, overseas to Japan and fighting in their little wrestling, matches or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, could you just imagine you see somebody like Drew McIntyre or somebody come back and you're like, dude, M80 shoved up my ass over there in Japan. And it's
bro,
like, if
somebody sticks an M80 up your ass and lights that bitch, you're dead. You ain't alive. You ain't alive. You're done for. Not only that, but my biggest fear, like for example, like first of all, the person that the people that agreed to be in this match, y'all have some balls of steel.
Delusional.
Facts. But my biggest fear, if my manager or promoter, whatever you want to call them, came up to me and was like, oh yeah, you're going to be in a firecracker match or whatever they called it, to where a firecracker has to be stuck up your behind and lit and set off. My biggest fear is that I would get pink socked. Oh, no. Your rectum is only so fucking big and can only hold so much pressure. So it's like, you're telling me that firecracker, well, depending on how big the
you're giving yourself hemorrhoids, though.
That is. What in the world?
Could you imagine being the guy that's like the head honcho of this freaking, wrestling league or whatever, and his name's just Ass Man or something like that. And he's like, yo, like, what's going on here? And they're just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna take that ass, man. And the next thing you know, firecracker, boom. There goes your asshole. Like,
bro.
You know what? I retract my previous statement of telling you to stay off the internet.
My version of TikTok is nothing compared to what you find, apparently. So I don't want to hear nothing.
It on Instagram, which is even worse.
Yeah, that is even worse. But that means a bunch of people shared that information with each other, and then it just got to you.
Facts.
But no,
no sense.
Like hearing that just makes me lose so much hope for humanity because first of all, another thing that I just thought about, another thing that I just thought about that with that. How is that even okay? So you're telling me that you're just gonna expose another man's area to a audience, and mind you, a lot of people bring their children to these events. So you're just gonna let your child watch a man shove a freaking firecracker up another man's ass, light it and boom, and tell, oh, by the way, little Timmy, don't do this at home.
Bro, try this at home.
Like-
Like, every single one of us as kids tried everything we saw.
Right, like
And it's like, just imagine just seeing in the world news, 4 kids dead because firecrackers shoved in ass.
yo, bro, like dead ass, like that would be literally the thing, and it's like
He dead ass, all right. That's the problem. No, think about it because you done said it now. Like, no, like firecrackers in your ass. Like, when you think firecrackers, you think like 4th of July, you know, Memorial Day.
having a good
You're
time.
thinking food. You're thinking, like, you know what? No, that gives a whole new meaning to getting your back blown out.
Yikes, yo,
Right.
chill.
Just be like, you know what? You lose. Who got ass here?
Yo, chill, fam, chill. No, 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 no. But that is crazy. That's I mean, it is Japan. It doesn't surprise me. They're notorious for a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, like anime.
I mean, anime's not weird. Anime's good shit. I don't want to hear nothing out of your dirty little girl house.
Oh, whoa.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Wait a minute.
Anime is a great thing.
Wait a minute, sir.
What?
You know what? We're going to avoid that conversation, sir. I'm not even going to go into that with you. I don't have the time or the fucking energy to deal with that. But you know what I do have the time for?
What?
And what I want something, I need the math to math here.
Okay. What's up?
Okay.
What's up?
What is the deal with freaking aliens, bro?
Oh, you want that story? You want me to tell the
we're
world?
going into this.
All right, bet.
Because hear me out, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, how is it that, we talk about humanity so advanced, right? Okay, and we sit here and we talk about how we done all these great things and, we can't explain them like the pyramids and all this other stuff. But what if, right? What if we are just a bunch of guinea pigs for these aliens and we're like in some sort of like planetarium type shit to where they're just like, hey, let's go check on our humans like we're a science project or some shit.
Honestly, I am so glad you brought this up. I am so glad because here you want to know what I believe it comes to. I do believe in aliens. I do. And for any of you that claim that there's no such thing as aliens, we're the only life forms out there, you're crazy. There's no way that we're just on the only planet that's habited, like all the galaxies in the world. You're crazy if you don't believe that there's something else out there. But either way, let me tell you what I believe.
Okay.
So you know how we don't know where we originate from, right?
Because
we as human beings do not know where human life began.
Yeah.
Like we just insinuate based on the things that we find where we began. So here's what I believe.
Okay.
It all starts with the dinosaurs, right? It all starts with the dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs?
All the way back. We're going way, 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 way back.
Okay.
Right? So obviously the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
We don't exactly know where they originate from either, realistically, if we're being honest.
No,
so here's what I believe is the thing. I believe some alien freaking life forms from another galaxy, another planet, whatever you want to say, freaking was just strolling along, la-di-da, you know what? Like, oh, let's go check out the galaxy. Let's see what we can find, right? And they're like, oh, shoot, look at this planet. This looks cool. Freaking, let's go see if it's habitable, if we can actually survive on this planet. Some smart alien was like, no, let's not send ourselves down there. Let's test it with something else. Okay, what do we got? We got our animals from our planet, right? So they go back to their planet, grab a couple of their animals, plant them on Earth, right?
Okay.
Plant them there, right? So boom, dinosaurs now, because obviously we don't know what these things were. Right. So because we don't know what these things are called, their planet, you know what I'm saying? What are called? So we call them dinosaurs. But in all reality, they're like, oh yeah, that's our creatures, whatever. So they live, blah, 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 whatever, everything like that. The aliens come back, they're like, all right, let's go check up on them, see how they're doing. Oh, they're still alive and they're thriving. Okay, cool. Let's try something else. Oh, laser straight to the planet kills all the fucking dinosaurs, because you ain't gonna convince me of that whole meteor thing. Because the thing about it is, for a meteor to be big enough to do that much damage, wipe out the all the dinosaurs, I don't believe it. Especially since if land hits land, how does it damage the water? Is my thing, because how did a meteor kill what was already in the water? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to convince me of that. So what I think happened was the aliens came along and was like, "Hey, y'all had a good run. Now, done."
So are you talking like an intergalactic drive-by to where they're just like, shoot the dinosaurs? It just pops out the fucking window with a damn Gatling laser or some shit and just like, hey, here you go. Kills all the fucking dinosaurs? Like,
pretty much, because I mean, how else do you explain all of the dinosaurs, including the ones that were deep in the water? Because we know the ocean is deep as fuck, boy. It's deep as fuck.
The Marianas Trench shit.
Exactly. So you're not going to convince me that a meteor was not only big enough, but deep enough into the planet to kill everything that was underwater as well without blowing the planet off the face of the earth. It's no way. It's no way. No way.
I got a possible theory here.
Okay, I'm hearing it. I'm listening.
Spontaneous combustion.
Underwater?
I mean, it's pressure. You're talking pressure differences here.
I mean, yes,
it's possible.
I mean, pressure differences, yes, but at the same time, it's like it's underwater. We know water does not catch fire and it don't really exactly blow up without some outside source affecting it.
You look at hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis.
But there's something affecting it though.
But it's Mother Nature affecting it, not some aliens with a damn, doing an intergalactic drive-by here.
Yes, but in this case, it's an intergalactic drive-by that he's just like, all right, cool, dinosaurs, they're gone, wiped out, extinct type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So then after that, they were like, all right, well, we still don't want to freaking be on this planet, so let's have a little bit more fun. So they had another creature that they were genetically modifying, i.e., bada boom, bada bing, the caveman, human beings type things. They put us on the planet. Let's see how they do, right? Okay, cool. All right, so keep with me, people. Keep with me, because this is gonna be fun.
No, all right. I'm still trying to make this math here.
So the aliens put us here, right?
Okay.
The alien life forms put us here. And they're like, all right, let's go. Let's just see what they do. So obviously, cavemen discover fire, weapons, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. We go through freaking life and everything like that, advancing and everything like that. But we had a little bit of help on the way, because you're not going to convince me that we figured all this shit out on our own. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to convince me that, oh, we put metal in hot fire, it melts, we mold into something else. You ain't going to convince me of that, because human beings are smart, but at the same time, we're not. No. Because how do you discover that? How do we figure that out? You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel like that was like a homie hookup type deal, with the alien. They're like, oops, here's this metal that melts in fire, do something with that, and everything. You know what I'm saying?
But here's my thing, and this is why I partially can't agree with you, right?
Okay.
Because look at history, right?
Okay.
Over the periods of history, you take the caveman era, the Bronze Age, the freaking Industrial Revolution, and so on and so forth.
Right.
We casually got smarter. Caveman, rock, stick, make spear, kill woolly mammoth type shit.
Yeah.
Family eat for a week type deal.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and then you go into that. And then you go into, hey, how can we make this easier to where we're not, getting eaten by saber-toothed tigers and dinosaurs and shit. So it's like, okay, I'm going to hunt from a distance now. Boom, you got freaking bow and arrows. And the next thing you know, we're still going to have to get up close and personal. So boom, we're going to have to make armor. We're going to have to protect ourselves. It's a survival thing. That's how I explain that.
I mean, I get it's a survival thing, but my thing is what circumstances, like for example, you brought up evolution and everything like that. So let's just talk about, for example, at what point, what brought somebody to be like, oh, if we take this metal and heat it up really hot, we can shape it into whatever we want it to be.
Probably because you got to think they had a basic understanding of previous items such as clay, mud, realizing, hey, materials can be molded. Let's see what happens when I do this. It's a pretty much, hey, hold my beer and watch this.
I mean, in a sense, yes, you could pull that, but I'm still convinced aliens came and helped us out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to change my mind.
There are some instances to where it's like, okay, we had to have had some extraterrestrial interference here, because one, you're not just going to tell me that the pyramids, miraculously got built in a matter of minutes type deal.
I wouldn't say it was a matter of minutes, but yeah, I get what you're coming from.
Pyramids, you know, you're not going to tell me that, like, another one could be the Eiffel Tower.
Okay,
you can't explain the Eiffel Tower because you're just going to tell me magically you just had scaffolding and all this random shit that was built. You know, the Statue of Liberty, fucking all these great other monuments that were built. It's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I can't get behind it. That's the one thing that I can't. I'm like, you know what? It's where I could partially believe that, hey, you know, we had some help type deal. But another thing, since you brought up the metal thing, I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay. What's up?
Because we talk about figuring things out. You know, you want to talk, you know, evolution. Well, evolution leads into science, right?
Yes.
Okay. How were we able to make a metal that can withstand outer space? Because if these aliens have figured it out and we got help from them, then clearly, you know, we figured it out somewhere along the way. So
Nah, I disagree.
How so?
I disagree.
How?
I disagree hard as fuck. It's all a lie. So here's why I say that whole thing, the whole space travel and NASA and all that, they a bunch of liars. All right. So hear me out. You're not going to convince me that it's because it wouldn't be so bad. But my main reason why I say you're not going to convince me of this is because we apparently figured out the correct combination of metals to put together to build a giant vessel that can be shot into, well, let me rephrase that, shot out of the atmosphere into outer space. Back in like the 50s and 60s, when we were still convinced that, oh, if you pee on somebody's fucking foot, you can remove poison out of it. Like, come on now,
get remedies.
No. You're not gonna convince me of that.
Remedies, dog.
Nah, you're not gonna convince me. You're not gonna convince me of that. And not only that, but another reason why I say that it's a lie is the fact that we apparently not only figured out a metal that you can build a vessel out of that can survive the vacuum of space, where there's no gravity, no nothing. Realistically, anything that can't handle the vacuum of space gets crushed immediately, destroyed, eviscerated, right? Okay, so that already by itself doesn't make sense. But then to go so far as to say that we figured out a material, a fabric that we can put together into a cute little outfit for the astronauts to wear so that they can step out of the fucking rocket into the vacuum of space, not freeze to death, get crushed by the pressure of the vacuum of space.
Here's my thing.
Make that make sense. It don't make sense.
I'm about to make it make sense.
It don't.
Okay? Hear me out. This goes back to my ideology of survival, especially survival of the fittest. Because think about it, right? Take this whole conversation in its totality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I'm piecing this together. Follow me. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm not crazy, all right? I'm not crazy at all. Because
says every crazy person.
aliens bring us here, right?
Uh-huh.
We get help from aliens, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay? We survive because there's other things here that are trying to kill us, right? What if all this is culminating in the fact that we finna go get our get back on these aliens?
I mean, it could be.
Because think about it. There's so much that's hidden from us. Henceforth, the reason why we're even having this debate, because we don't understand a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what if the whole reason that humanity is down here is to get our get back? Because we're like, yo, we just got kicked off our planet, you know, X amount of years ago. You know what? We finna slide on these fools because, you know, they took out all our dinosaurs and shit. Like, they could have been pets to cavemen for all we know.
I mean,
because think about it. Woolly mammoths, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Woolly mammoths were these big ass creatures in the Ice Age.
Yeah.
That somewhat resembled dinosaurs to a degree.
Yeah.
Okay. For all we know, cavemen had these pets, these dinosaurs as pets. Aliens just come by, and next thing you know, all our pets are gone. How would you feel if somebody killed your dog?
Yeah, but at the same time.
Hold on. Hear me out. Here's where it gets better, right? Just think about it. We're going up into space. You know, we're making, you know, because way back when we made, you know, chainmail and armor and all this shit. So we're making, you know, these high tech, fancy nano suits and, you know, like Venom-esque type suits to where it's like, we're just trying to find ways to get our get back, bro. That's all it is. It's survival. It's that simple.
But at the same time, that would insinuate that we know the exact galaxy, planet, and creatures that not only put us here, but did that in order for us to get our get back, because otherwise we're just getting our get back on somebody that freaking we ain't even sure is the one that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, two things. One, America's notorious for just getting get back on people for no reason.
True.
Okay. Two, they're notorious for hiding shit from us.
True.
Like that right there is the $1 million ticket. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
They're notorious for hiding shit from us because we was talking to aliens. Take the Roswell, New Mexico incident that happened in the 50s. Ironic how the alien thing, the UFO, happened in the 50s. Next thing you know, in the 60s, we're in space.
I mean,
come on now.
I mean, I
Get
guess
the pieces together.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, but I'm still stuck on this whole thing of the rockets and the suits, because you're not going to convince me. You're not going to convince me whatsoever that we figured out the correct metal and everything like that, the correct fuel, the correct amount of fuel, the correct all that stuff to get all the way to outer space, right?
Yeah.
And without and have a suit that can withstand the vacuum. Because my thing is we're told that, oh, there's no such thing as zero gravity machines. There's no such thing as a simulator to simulate. We can't simulate freaking outer space whatsoever because the technology doesn't exist yet. So how in the world are we able to confirm 100% that this ship that's going to take off, exit the atmosphere into outer space is going to survive with people inside of it that are going to put on a suit to hop out of the fucking vessel and also be able to survive the vacuum of space and everything? Like how do we do that if we apparently don't have the equipment to test that?
We do, because we have satellites. Okay, what do satellites do? They float in outer space. They're just up there.
We're told that they float outer space. We're told that
we're told a lot of things.
We're told that they float in outer space.
We're told.
For all we know, they just might be far enough in the atmosphere that we can't see them to where they just, because realistically vessel, because you got to realize, think about it. Come ride with me on this one.
Okay.
Aircrafts in general.
Yeah.
Aircrafts in general can only go so high in the air.
Yes.
Jets, regular commercial airplanes, all that. They can only go so high up in the air.
Yes.
And everything like that. So who's to say that we're being told that the satellites are in outer space circling the planet in the gravitational pull and everything like that, but in all reality, realistically, they're just up in the air floating, freaking, with whatever technology they have to help.
If that's the case, then we would see them when we're on like flights, planes, and pilots would see them. And
not if they're higher than what the recommended distance that it can go up, which is 30,000 feet. As long as they're above 30,000 feet, freaking, we won't see shit. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that for a second.
But that's you insinuating that we would see them.
And no, I'm not saying that.
We've never seen them other than the pictures that we see, which brings me to my next point of the International Space Station.
Okay, what about it?
There's a whole space station floating up there that we know of where these people live inside this freaking giant ass satellite pretty much. But you're still trying to, understand how we made all this happen. It's like, clearly it's happening. Somebody somewhere had to figure it out. Okay? Because think about this. This is the logic that I'm going to use because I'm glad you brought up airplanes and stuff. Leonardo da Vinci. The Da Vinci Code, all this. He was a smart ass dude back in the Renaissance. Originally came up with the initial design for the flying machine, right? Well, say what, 200-300 years later, we finally discover all this, and then boom, Kitty Hawk. The Wright brothers create the first plane, start flying around. We have the technology. It just has to be found and uncovered. So what if NASA was just like, oh shit, hey, we just so happen to find this. Because archaeologists all the time are finding fossils and all sorts of other shit. Who's to say they're not finding ancient alien technology?
I mean, this is possible, but here's my counter to that.
What?
Here's my counter to that. Okay, so we've all, at some point in our life, seen a spaceship take off, right? We've all seen it.
Sure.
Right? We've all seen it, whether it be on television or you were live at the location. We've all seen a freaking rocket be launched, right?
Yes.
Okay. What happens in the process of it going up? It starts in a straight line, goes straight up, and then what does it start doing? It starts arcing with the shape of the Earth, with the gravitational pull. Gravity starts affecting it pretty early. Like it don't get very far. Like it's still within eyesight of us.
Yeah.
It's still within eyesight of us when we start seeing it starting to gravity start taking effect and everything like that. Right now, it goes far enough, right? Because another thing that I find a huge coincidence is that rocket launches always happen on a day where the clouds are the thickest and the heaviest, like not raining or anything like that, but like the clouds are real thick and everything, like to where once they leave and get into the clouds where you can't see them anymore, they're technically out of eyesight. I'm not convinced that it goes all the way to outer space. I'm convinced what happens is that gravity, because that's a thing that we know exists,
Yes.
takes effect on that thing. Especially since we all know that part of the launching process is some of the stuff starts falling off of the vessel.
Yes.
And everything like that. So this is what I believe, that all the stuff starts falling off, blase, blase, whatever. It starts fucking Gravity starts taking effect, and what it does is the vessel comes right back down into the ocean somewhere and everything like that. Because you're not going to convince me that, because think about, not only have you never actually seen a vessel fully go all the way. I know that we technically wouldn't see, because once you get to a certain point, everything's like a little tiny dot. We wouldn't see it anyways. But even still, it's like you're not going to tell me that it's already starting to be affected by gravity before it even gets to the clouds. And then it gets through the clouds, and you're telling me gravity's not going to have any effect on it at that point to where it can just continue straight up out of the atmosphere. No, it's not going to work that way.
You got asteroids that float aimlessly through space. They're not in the atmosphere. Once that rocket gets out of the atmosphere, that's all they need.
Yeah, but do you not realize how far they got to go in order to get out of the atmosphere?
Yeah, I get it. It's pretty fucking far.
It's pretty fucking far. And if you're already being affected by gravity before you even reach the clouds, you're telling me, you're going to try and convince me that you somehow, some way can still have momentum to keep going, even though gravity's affecting you long before you even get far enough.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like what happens is it goes in the clouds. NASA's like, all right, you're about to land in the ocean. We'll see you here in a little bit. Bam, they go into the ocean and freaking and they recover the guys. Because that's another thing that freaking I just thought about, is that and this is a question for not only you, Tony, but for the fans. Have any of you ever in your life seen a spaceship come back into orbit? Have you ever seen it happen? Has anybody ever seen the government go and recover the vessel that supposedly returned? No, you don't. You just see a freaking newspaper article, or you see a picture on Facebook or the internet somewhere saying, "Oh, astronauts that went to outer space returned," but yet we don't see the vessel anywhere. Nobody's seen the vessel. Nobody knows where the vessel is. And we know, as Americans, America loves having their shit back for the most part. They like having their stuff back. So you're telling me that they go into outer space, come back from outer space, and nobody sees a thing? Nobody. And this planet's covered with human beings. There's billions of us all around the world. Yes. And nobody sees nothing.
But here's my thing, and this goes back to my theory earlier. The government likes to hide shit. We know this simply just because from our time in the fucking Marine Corps.
True.
We know, hey, make this disappear. Hey, we're not, I know this is here, but we don't need it here. We need it somewhere else, but we can't tell them that we need it somewhere else.
I get that, but at the same time.
But hold on. Follow me here.
Okay.
Because if the government was able to hide the Roswell incident as well as they did, because after a couple of years, it died out. Nobody gave a shit about it until like the 70s and 80s started rolling around, and people's cows and shit started disappearing type shit. You got crop circles, all this other shit, the mass hysteria and shit that they were planning. But if the government was able to hide it once, who's to say they don't hide it again?
But you do realize how many space launches there have been.
We only know about Apollo 11 was the first one we knew of, because that was the one with Lance Armstrong and
yes, I get that.
Aldrin.
But how many have there been since Apollo 11 though? There's been quite a few.
Here's my thing: we hear 11, 12, and 13. Other than that, we don't hear about shit.
No, we don't hear about shit. But for the most part, we know that spaceships get fired off because they do it almost ceremoniously, to where it's like, oh, come watch us launch this space shuttle into outer space, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where it's like, we know, even though they don't talk about it, we still know that they're doing it. And there's been hundreds of launches since the Apollo 11 situation
Yeah.
and everything like that, to where it's like, but yet my thing is when it comes back into orbit, we've got all these different things. We've got airplanes, we've got boats, we've got freaking cars, there's, like I said, there's billions of people all around the world, and you're telling me not a single person has ever seen a vessel either come back into orbit and crash down, or seen the government go and recover the spaceship. That freaking nobody, especially sailors, for example. Sailors, we all know they love telling stories. I mean, hell, they're the reason why we hear about mermaids. They're the reason why we hear about the story of Moby Dick, all that stuff. Where they're the reason. Sailors are the reason why those stories exist. They love to tell stories.
Yes.
You really think a sailor is not going to sit there and be like, "Holy crap! I saw a spaceship freaking come back and crash into the ocean right next to my ship," and everything like that. You really think they would miss that opportunity to tell that story?
No, I'm not saying they would. Yet again, we also know that the government is very notorious for hiding shit.
Yes.
Which proves my point that it's like they're not gonna tell us about shit. Like that's another thing. Take these astronauts for example. How do we know? Because you want to bring up the fabric thing and how they don't, survive. Like how do they survive? What if they don't? Follow me.
Okay, I'm listening. Okay.
What if they don't survive, right? And the reason why we never see any wreckage is because it never comes back. Which means if it never comes back, but they say, oh, hey, look, these people returned. What if they're out here cloning people, right? So think about it. When we was kids, one of the roasts we used to use is, oh, you're in test tube, baby. You were grown in a lab. What if that's what they're doing with people, bro? Why do you think about this, right? You know how you'll be walking down the street somewhere, or you'll be out, at a certain place, and you'll look at somebody and you're like, I know who the fuck that is. And you swear up, down, left, and right that you know who these people are. But then you get up closer and you're like, you're not who I thought you were. To where it's like, who's to say they're not out here just making people?
I mean, they might be, but at the same time, that would entail that freaking that these people are pretty much hopping on these vessels knowing that they're gonna fucking
it's a suicide mission.
Yeah, it's literally they pretty much know that it's a suicide mission and they're accepting their fate. Like I get it that there's a lot of people that are depressed in the world. There's a depression pandemic going on right now. Like we all know. Like I mean, hell, majority of our generation is depressed as fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
for apparent reason.
Yeah, but either way, it's like you couldn't convince me that we're going to launch you into outer space. You're gonna see space, but you're never gonna see your family, your friends, nothing ever again.
Think about it. What if that's the great beyond, right?
Okay, explain.
I might be reaching for this one.
Okay.
But think about it. Other than Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, there has not been a single astronaut since then that has successfully came back and told their story, right?
Yeah.
What if they're just sending random people up into outer space, killing these people off, and nothing about it? That's why we don't ever know, because nobody ever lives to tell the tale.
I mean, that is a possibility. That would be some stuff that freaking the government would probably do, because they don't give a fuck about Americans.
And the government's been known to fucking get rid of people, because look at the dude that made the water-powered car. Even his family said that, the day before he died, he was all good, and then there was a phone call saying, oh, they poisoned me. And then his designs disappeared. His freaking memory all but got erased from the general public. Like, they're hiding so much shit, it's not even funny, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. They definitely are.
We can speculate all we want, but until we actually get the cold hard truth, we're never gonna know.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we'll never get the cold hard truth, because we have a bunch of liars in office. That's all they know how to do is lie and manipulate and do things to benefit themselves. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I still, another thing that I just still can't get over when it comes to the NASA and everything like that is, obviously we are technically, Elon Musk doesn't own NASA, it's whatever, but either way, you've got Tesla, for example, that's involved with SpaceX, that's involved with all that stuff, right? So you're telling me that you've mastered space travel, you've mastered how to build the equipment, all that stuff, get that perfect, but yet you haven't fixed the batteries in your vehicles that you create to last longer than a couple hours or not freaking bug out when it's freezing cold outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're telling me your lithium batteries that you use, you can't get those right, but you can get the stuff for a freaking rocket right, and a rocket is far more complicated to understand than a freaking battery is.
Henceforth the science. Oh, it's not rocket science.
You know, exactly. But so you're telling me you can figure out a rocket, but you can't figure out a battery.
No, not at all.
That's another thing that does not make a lick of sense at all. It don't make a lick of fucking sense. I'm sticking to my belief, and I'm gonna die on this hill that space travel, you know, the all that is a crock of horse crap. Nobody's gonna be able to freaking convince me of anything different. I mean, if you think you can, I happily encourage you to try and convince me otherwise.
I've tried. Y'all heard me trying this whole time, and this man don't want to listen to nobody.
Hey, so because I like to believe in free thinking. I like to think outside the box. I don't like to believe what other people say, because obviously we know that people lie. They like to tell their side of the story. They don't tell the whole entire thing. So I like to find the truth in my own thing, and I use logic a lot of the time.
But physical evidence, homie.
But physical evidence is there that the ship goes outer space, comes back. There's no physical evidence of it whatsoever.
You know what? You're right. On that note, y'all like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, Podbean, Spotify, everywhere else that we are, and maybe y'all can be like our person, the booty taker over here, and get shouted out on the next episode.
Yes, sir, Ski. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.